My last couple episodes took forever.
Oh, okay.
Yo, chat, can you hear us?
Yo, yo, yo. Yo,
Talk
yo.
to us.
Yo, yo. 1, 2. Check it. 1, 2.
It's still not going for me.
Uh-oh, let's take a look. Says 10 viewers waiting. Let's fucking go. Can you guys hear us? Luther, can you hear us right now? You almost have 100 followers. Let's freaking go.
I know, right? And that's my
And
secondary channel.
and there's a 100% chance that you got your stream key and all that.
Oh yeah, it's live now.
All right, let's fucking go.
Yo, chat. Hello. Welcome. I'm Die Bear. Welcome to the Bear Truth. We can't hear you. We're going to keep it that way. Because what's going to be said tonight is a little too spicy for Rumble. Wait,
Let's
it's
fucking
Rumble.
go. Wait, is this the porn episode? I thought I was in the How to Help Streamers episode.
Wasn't that like 3 weeks ago on your channel or something like that?
Yeah. What's up, Diane? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I feel like
Do you
it's been
mind
a
when I
while
call you
since we've
Diane, or
done this.
would you prefer Die Bear, or do you like yours Diane? Okay.
I'm called Diane every day.
Okay.
I'm also called Die.
You ever
The
get
only
called
thing-
Dyke?
No, I would smack somebody. The only thing I get called that I don't like is D-Bear.
Well, when I first started seeing your name in my chat and stuff, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was Die or D. But once you told me, obviously, it's easy.
We're past the Princess Diana days, so people don't know. Like, oh, Die. All right, but it used to be a household name, and I wouldn't go by Die because everyone would always be like, "Oh, Princess Di," and I'd be like, "No, I'm not a princess. Shut up."
It wasn't that weird how, like, there were people. I remember when that happened, I was like, for whatever fucking reason, it mattered for a little while, and there were people who never knew her. Obviously, they were bawling their eyes out. I'm like, why did we care about that so much?
I mean, it's so weird. She was like on the cover of magazines almost every week for like 2 decades. It was insane. People just chased her constantly. And your gamer mom died. But it was weird. And the funny thing is, I took my name in 1997 when I opened my first email account. My friend was showing me how to do it in college. And she's like, "Oh, just come up with a name." I'm like, "Okay, well, my name is Diane, so we'll go with Die, and my last name means bear, so I guess I'll do that." So I've been Die Bear for
there you go. That's cool.
25 years now or something like that.
Yeah, that's really cool that there's an actual name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there's an actual reason for the bear part too. That's pretty cool.
So then Princess Diana passed away, a couple years later? And Beanie Babies came out with the Princess Di Bear, which I do have. It's a purple bear. But I was like, they stole my name. What the hell? Why would they make a bear for her? Why not a dog?
Why would there be a bear for her? That doesn't make sense at all.
I don't get it.
It's crazy. My name, my gamer tag for as long as I've ever had one has been Sugar Bread. Because when I was young, when I was a little kid, there was a lot of times where for literal dinners, my mom would have a loaf of cheap white bread, and we would sprinkle sugar on it, and then eat it like that. And we called it Sugar Bread because we were fucking poor. And so when I got older, I was trying to think of something that kind of like symbolized me in some way, and it was just a cool original gamer tag. And that was my name when I started streaming too. There's a part of me wished I would have just stuck with it, but when I came to Rumble, I was like looking to I was just trying to refresh, just get a new start. So I changed it to Silver Fox Gamer. But I like Sugar Bread too. I kind of wish I would have stuck with that because it's more original. But Silver Fox Gamer worked because my hair is gray as fuck. So we're good.
It happens at some point. I don't know. If my hair ever starts turning gray, I think I'm gonna dye it silver.
Really?
It would look good. Yeah, because I have those
with it, huh?
crazy ass blue eyes, man. Silver hair would look amazing.
Yeah.
So
Luther says I need to try Sugar Bread now, motherfucker. Oh, the food. Yeah, don't take my gamer tag, okay? You can try the food, just don't take my gamer tag.
Yeah, I was at my mom's 2 weeks ago, and she does this every year. She just started looking at me, and she's like, "Do you color your hair?" And I'm like, no, mom, I don't color my hair. You don't color your hair? Like she couldn't believe it. I'm like, mom, I don't have gray hair, mom. And like I'm surprised she's surprised because like my brother is how old am I? I'm 46. My brother is 54.
Mm-hmm.
Full head of blonde hair. Like we age well in my family.
So,
So
so he has no actual gray hair either in his
no gray
50s.
hair at 54. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I found my
So
first gray hair. Now I don't know. Now this could be a coincidence. I'm not saying this is the day it sprouted, but the day I swear to God, I found my first gray hair the day I got married. Like, I was in the mirror getting ready or something, and I just saw like one. So I don't even remember exactly where it was. But I remember yeah, I found my first gray hair on my wedding day.
how old were you?
20.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. We've been married. We got married in October of 2002. So I was 21, I guess.
I've seen several men go gray in their 20s. It's really strange.
Yeah, my hair, it's like every day it's like grayer. It's got, am I thinning too? All right, put my hat back on.
Yeah, so one day I was like, why the hell do I not have any gray hair at my age? And I started like just researching the internet. And I will research and research until I find it, even if it takes years. And there's no science on this, but I finally found this forum. And all these people were there like, why am I in my 40s and I don't have gray hair? And some people were in their 50s. And they all came up with one thing they had in common, and they were all Irish. And I was like, no shit. So I'm a quarter Irish.
Well, see, no, that's interesting because on my mom's side, they're all Irish. My mom's maiden name is McClary. So I don't know where I get it. On my mom's side, it's a lot of Irish, and my dad's side, it's a lot of Native American. Hence, if you get close to me, dude, my pores, I have Native American pores and big ass nose. I don't give a fuck. I'm not like.
What are Native American pores? Are they like freaking huge or something? Like,
dude, you ever been close to an old Native American man? He looks like fucking SpongeBob.
I guess I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, if you get close enough, like my skin under magnification is fucking disgusting. I have bad skin. Wow. I still get acne on my back, and I'm 41. I thought that shit was going to go away after I got out of my teenage years, but
I had to go keto to get rid of acne. I used to have terrible acne, and the only thing that got rid of it was going keto. So like I had Chili's last weekend, and I had pizza, and I have like a little thing right here that I'm waiting for it to clear up, but
I think it's the sugar. I think it's the sugar and all the breads that turn into sugar.
So
I think
bad
it
for
causes
you.
inflammation and all that good stuff. Glitch Gadget said my hair is currently neon orange. What the fuck?
Glitch is going to be on Pirate Panel on Saturday.
Wait, which one is Glitch? Like, do I know him?
Glitch is she's one of my moderators.
Oh, it's a girl. Okay, my fault.
Yeah,
my fault.
She came over. She'll go by. If you want to call her he, she'll go by he.
Right.
I'm still blonde to this day. Are you like 27 or something, Vixen? G1 Games. What's up, dude? I had a small piece of gray hair once when I was 16.
Last year. Oh, you're a baby. Also, if I go gray early, it'll just make it easier to dye. You spelled die wrong. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I have a fucked up sense of humor, Glitch. You're just gonna have to get used to it.
She's used to it. She hangs out with us and plays Siege with us. So you should have heard us Saturday. Oh my gosh. Talk about things to get kicked off of Rumble for.
Oh wait. Oh, when you were playing Siege? Yeah,
it was pretty funny. You just turned 23. Oh my gosh.
Is Siege on Steam, or do you have to get that through like the Epic app or whatever it is?
It's Ubisoft. I got mine through Steam, so I had to create a Steam account too. So Steam will open Ubi and the game, and then we all play together. And it's fun.
I wonder. I don't know.
It's a strategic shooter.
Yeah, it sounds right up my alley, but it's one of those. For some reason, I've just never been intrigued enough to go like play it. Maybe if I did, I would like it. I don't know.
Yeah, we try to get a 5-stack every Friday, so I play it this time is when we start. So
cool.
Whoever shows up, it's fun. Vixen and Glitch are the same age.
Got some youngins in here. Well, that's good. At least Rumble has a few younger people. I think the average age of Rumble viewers has got to be like 67.
Yes. I'm right up there. It's just wait, it is fun just a little to learn. Oh, you
I
mean
think
Siege?
yeah.
So, announcement chat. We are doing a pirate panel right here at 8 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. I'll be shooting out invites to quite a few people. If anyone wants to pop on, Llama will be with us again for the entire night because Llama. And I'm like, dude, if you have time, he's like, I'll be there the whole time. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. He loves partying on stream. So,
Yeah.
it is not my 5th year anniversary to the day, but I have been a Twitch affiliate for 5 years. And I started streaming in May of that year. So we're going to have a 5-year celebration and figure out when my anniversary day should actually be. Probably May. But yeah, streaming for 5 years and now we're exclusively on Rumble just because it's better. It's really that simple. Yeah.
What made you, and this may kind of tie in eventually to why streaming advice and wisdom for Rumble creators. What made you decide to, because you were multi-streaming or when did you start multi-streaming and when did you decide and why did you decide to stop?
When I could finally go live on Rumble, which was last winter, I think it was. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I started multi-streaming in like March or something. I can't remember exactly. But I decided to start streaming on all 3 platforms. And Rumble was not that great. I mean, we all remember what it was like back in March when the Discord started. It was pretty shitty still. And then I was I've done a lot of research like on YouTube. We talked about this last night a little bit, like trying to get the quality of the VODs. Like my stream quality is terrible on YouTube. And it's because they use a different encoder for people who are not monetized versus people who are.
Okay.
And Twitch had the best streaming quality. Like my live streams on Twitch look amazing. And I used to get encoding all the time. So you could pick whatever resolution you wanted, probably because I was a full-time streamer. And even though I was just an affiliate, but the VODs look like ass. And the VODs matter to me because especially when we get clipping capability, I'm going to go back to I need to do like another compilation video and we'll watch the 2 I've done already on Saturday. But I got to have good VOD quality. And so I, did what women did. And I started a conversation without actually coming out and saying what I wanted. But I created a dialogue around it.
Okay.
Got a bunch of people talking about it. And then Wojtek jumped in. And I knew it was the encoder issue, didn't bring it up, but it ended up getting to that point. And then we got into the encoding discussion and he was like, well, I can increase the encoding so that if your video isn't above a certain bit rate, then, it'll just encode at the original bit rate. I was like, dude, that'd be great. So that's
almost like that's the way it should be.
That's how I came to streaming at 8200. But the problem with multi-streaming is if I wanted to stream at a higher quality, I had to do 720 through Restream or pay a lot more money. And I just don't have the money for it. The other thing is the higher bit rate. I think I would have had to have paid more money too. But if you stream at a higher bit rate to YouTube, higher than what they want, they will seriously downgrade the quality. And Twitch will do the same thing.
I never I don't know what I did right or what, but I never experienced that on YouTube.
Well, you were monetized though.
But it took me a while. It took me like a year to even get there, and I don't remember the VODs.
They have a different encoder though, so maybe they did it at a time after you got monetized. But
either way,
once Wojtek did that day, I was like, well, shit. Because of the downgrading, if you stream at too high of a bit rate, I can't stream to all 3 platforms with an 8,000 bit rate because the other 2 platforms will look like ass, even though Rumble looks good. And then I just said, screw it, I'm just going to stream to Rumble. So it was really better quality VODs that did it.
Honest to God, honest opinion. How do you feel about that move a couple months out, like a couple months away from that decision? I mean, did you still feel like there's maybe something that could be done like on Kick?
I'm amazed I still have Twitch subscribers, dude. I still get a paycheck from Twitch.
That's wild.
They
Yep.
they won't unsubscribe, and if they do, I'll be like, "Yo, get your asses to Rumble."
Well, and you know what I think too? I think sometimes people, what is it, like $5? I bet it's like, I bet people, a lot of people they just keep forgetting to unsubscribe. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that'll
because
go on for
to have
months.
a recurring subscription, it's not Prime. Like these people put their credit card numbers in for me.
Oh, they have
So
to
yeah,
re-up manually every month?
mm-mm. If it's a Prime subscription, yes, they will not renew Prime. They make you do it
Mm.
manually, probably because it's actually Amazon's dime.
Mm.
But yeah, you can see who my Twitch subscribers are on my Discord channel because they have elevated status in there.
Ooh.
And I once we get an API set up on Rumble, I would like to give that to my Rumble subscribers. I think I'm one of the few server owners who I'm not on top on the server because I feel like the people who support me financially should be the people who are up there on top. And most of them are streamers. And like with Twitch, you can show when you're going live in Discord without any effort. Like it just automatically shows it. So it's like, yeah, I want to give the higher status to the people who financially support me because they actually feel that my stuff is valuable enough and I'm grateful to them for that.
Yeah,
so I don't need to be on top.
Yeah, it's a big deal, man. When people are willing to pay money, I was actually talking about this in the stream yesterday. Sometimes I have to sit down or I have to like sit back and actually make myself like in the moment aware that people like, okay, I was talking to my wife about this again today. There's so much content on the internet. It's more content than any human could ever digest in their lifetime. And in any given day, there's so many creators, so many streamers are way better than me. And there's so much content to consume. So the fact that a human being will take the time out of their day and on their phone or their computer and watch me or you or who, obviously this is a personal thing, but and watch me and just sit there and watch me and chat with me. Like, dude, that means something. Because like there's so much content out there to consume on the internet and to get someone's time, I mean, it's easy to, I mean, I won't say it's easy, but it's really cool that people would subscribe for $5 a month. But to actually give you their time, I'm not sure that's something that we think about enough. Like, and how cool that actually is. And there's so much cool content on YouTube everywhere to watch and consume all your time. The fact that people are watching me blows my fucking mind. But I'll take it.
I also want to say welcome to Mr. Cage. I see you, Nifty WTF. Hey, Ryan, what's up, dude? Matthew Dyra. Dude, that was funny. We had Rick in his stream last night at the beginning, and Rick like subbed and donated, and like Ryan's like trying to get his PlayStation set up. It was so funny. This is a collective life of 86 years or so. Oh, of the 2000 babies. We have Ultra Fox Gaming in chat. Let's go, UB Legend.
Ultra
Hi,
Fox,
Diner, how you
what's
doing?
up, buddy?
Always good seeing you guys. Yeah, I think it's funny. I got off the quest grind and went back into the Diablo 4 playthrough and got through part of Act 6 today. And that's when people because people love the actual playthrough.
Yeah.
And now they're all excited because tomorrow we're finishing the campaign. And I'm excited. I hated having to go to work, dude.
Each part of that act takes a while. It's not going to be a 2-3 hour thing.
I got through most of it. Like I got through a lot of it today.
Well, you must be.
I played like 3 hours.
You get burnt out on all the side missions. It seems like you're focusing. You must be focusing more on main quest lines then.
I've been doing like side mission days versus main quest line days. So the last 2 days I spent doing quest lines because I needed to get gear with life bonuses on them because I was dying to Elias too easily. So I spent 2 days. I actually got great gear from my quests, great gear, and Elias was easy today. So
are you switching out rings to give you bonuses for resistance to different poisons and cold and shit like that?
I have the resistance to all elements, but my issue was I wasn't getting enough healing. So I ended up getting something with like a huge armor buff, and then I got like several pieces with like a plus 125 life on hit, stuff like that. And once I got that, I didn't really need the healing pots quite as much.
On my first playthrough, I found these boots that gave me an extra dash, like a B dash, and so it would prime to 2 every time. And man, when you're trying to get out of trouble, like that one extra dash is like incredible. I didn't take those boots off for the rest of the game when I found those.
I know I've got some good stuff for sorceress, so it'll be fun grinding out like end game stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I got to the point where you have. So I fought. I'm assuming it's a chick demon, and there were like two parts to her. But then there was like this big boss where it like zoomed the perspective way out and it put the little white circle around you so you could see it. I fought that guy.
Hmm.
And that's when I killed the other boss that he was sandwiched between. And then that's where I had to stop. So far though, Act 6 is freaking amazing. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I really am.
I don't know why the first playthrough I didn't get burnt out for a second. In the second playthrough, I did a couple streams. I was like, okay, I want to go do something else. And I'm loving the Outer Worlds though. I love, like I was telling them today in my chat, like I love new worlds. Like I love new menu systems. I love seeing new quest lines, finding out who the scumbags are and who you can trust, and just a whole different world to learn and exist in. It's just so fucking cool.
It was interesting because I saw a conversation. I can't remember if it was like in the Discord or on Twitter, but people were talking about playing games that they don't really like, but they play them because they're popular. So they get numbers on stream.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think about when I was doing Destiny all the time. It started getting to a point where like they were sunsetting the content and I was really depressed about the game. And I started playing a different game and someone came back and they were like, wow, Di, you're actually happy again. Like you actually look like you're having fun. Yeah. Now that you've quit Destiny. And it's really sad because a lot of people bought Destiny 2 because they would come in on my Twitch stream and see me playing that game. Mm-hmm. And they'd always be like, wow, you make this look like so much fun. And we were having fun. We were having the time of our lives. And dude, so many people bought that game. But now it's like, don't do it. Don't get yourself into it.
Well, that's actually an important point. When you talk about streaming advice and shit like that, if you're not... one thing that I've really, and especially this is something I've learned, like, is really as of late, that I was trying to imagine, okay, what if I went into someone's stream, what keeps me around? And I'm like, the game, maybe, but if I go in there, it's got to feel like a hangout, and like it's got to feel like a hangout. Like when you go in and the person's a stump on a log. No offense to anybody who's okay, if that's your style, if your style is just you don't want to talk, you're there just to hang out, and doesn't mean anything to you. I'm not talking to you, but if you're one of these people that doesn't understand why you're not growing, and that you have and you can't figure out why, a part of it is people want to feel like they're hanging out with their buddy, and I don't care how cool how good the game is, it has to be paired with your buddy. Like you have to be hanging out with somebody you want to hang out with. And so one thing that I've really tried to focus on, and this is like literally the last couple of days, I really started thinking about it like this, is that when people come into my streams, I want to interact with them like they're my friend, or like, so do you mind if I go on a little spiel here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So here's one way I've always looked at it, and this is kind of prefaces what I'm my bigger point, is that I always conduct myself as if there's 1,000 people watching me, regardless if there's 3 or if there's 1,000, because let's say there's nobody watching. Let's say you have 3 people, 5 people, and that's bumming you out. So you're sitting there and your energy's low. You look over, it seems like there's like your sister and your fucking dog's watching, and you're pissed off, and no one's talking. And then maybe someone trickles in, like an actual viewer, and they see you. Just people can feel your energy. They can feel when your energy's low. They can feel when you're disgruntled. People get a sense of it, and they can tell when you're not having fun. They can tell when you're pissed off. So if someone comes into my chat and I'm like this, like they'll click off in 5 seconds, like, and they're never coming back. So what I like to do is I put it in my head, and earlier when you said in my chat, you're like, I started hiding the people watching the numbers. I think that was you. I do the same thing. I literally I overlay my OBS on the left side of my browser that shows how many people are watching because I don't want to know. So when people come in and say, "Hey, you're featured," I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I almost wish they wouldn't tell me because I want my focus to be on what my focus is, which is when people come in. Okay, let me get back to my original point. So when people come in and I want it to feel like I'm already have the energy, like I'm already talking to several people. And when you watch me stream, I'm talking through all my decisions. I'm for sure addressing the people that are chatting, and I'm talking. I'm talkative. Now, again, this isn't not everyone has the same goals. Not everyone's going to have the same energy or the same want to do this. But if you want to grow and you want people to stick around, they have to click on your stream and they have to see that you're invested. You're invested in this and you're excited to be here, and that you're not a stump on a log. And I was going somewhere else with that. Diane, help me. I'm dying here.
We were talking about numbers and enjoying your game.
Oh yeah, so the popular game thing. So that's one thing I've learned. I don't care how popular the game is. If there's a brand new game and everyone's playing it, if I pop in for a stream and I'm like, okay, this is just fucking boring. I'm like, all right, sorry, I'll try again tomorrow. Like I'm not. I don't give a fuck how popular the game is. Now the goal as a streamer is to play a game that's popular as fuck, and you just so happen to fucking love it, like Elden Ring, like Diablo. Like when they kind of click at the same time, that's magic. Because and that's usually when you see your best numbers. Because people can tell you love it. People can tell you're enjoying yourself. So I would say if people are looking for games to play, they don't know what to play. Focus on games. Like rack your brain. Think about it. What game appeals to me personally? Don't worry about what's most popular. Don't worry about us pulling in the numbers. Because the number one thing is people have to connect with the fact that you're enjoying yourself, or they will not stick around.
Yeah, if you focus on the numbers, and a lot of us have, of course, been focusing lately on Rumble because we had like the issue with no one getting featured for a while. And if you have growth goals, it's a huge deal. But like when I was doing the Diablo playthrough, I was like, okay, I don't really want to be fixated on numbers. So I just stopped looking at it. And then I noticed I ended up getting like editors picks almost every day last week. Like, oh, okay, nice. And then I haven't gotten it this week, but like people have been showing up and having a good time, and that's what really matters. And chat's been fun. Like by the end of stream, the other day, I ended the game just a little early, and I wanted to rant about people bitching about the Rumble UI, so I went ahead and started recording that, and that turned into another video here on the Bare Truth. But it's fun to just stop the game and start having a discussion with people on the stream. And for me, like having an active chat is the best part. Like I want to talk with people. When people show up, I am genuinely happy to see them. Because I've met a lot of great personalities in chat, and it very rarely is there someone who actually makes me uncomfortable, but I do see those people once in a while, but not here on Rumble yet. But yeah,
it's chat is, I know us as streamers / gamers, gaming streamers understand this, but if anybody's watching this who is not a content creator, but you're just a viewer, do not underestimate the power or the importance of when you show up and you start watching. I understand that people are work and they can't sit there in the chat all day. I get that people have lives, but when you're able to hop in there and chat with the content creator, it means way more than you realize. Look, if we didn't care about community, I'll speak for myself, because maybe you might have a different perspective, but if we didn't care about the community, if we didn't care about the interaction with people, then we why even stream? Like I could have saved $6,000 on a PC and just play video games and just did it in my own free time. But like most of it for me, it doesn't matter what I play. If the chat is lively and there's like you're hanging, like again, it's like the hanging out with your buddies thing. It's camaraderie, and you're talking shit most of the time, and it's fun. Like it's so important. Like when guys like Nifty show up, it's a big deal. Nifty shows up to a lot of my streams, and it means something. It really does. And I know, as corny as that sounds, like it really is important, because without the people showing up to support your channel and talk to you, it gets fucking lonely, man. And it gets it's a lot more work to play that same damn video game when there's no one to talk to.
Yeah, and we've both been there, like, as new streamers. Man. And I watched all the YouTube videos on it, like, what do you do if you're alone, and how do you make it interesting? And like, I watched videos on narrating the game, and you have to constantly talk. You have to narrate.
Yeah.
And playthroughs, I find, don't do as well as like just playing a game, because people aren't always interested in just hearing the story. Like right now I'm doing the Diablo playthrough, and fortunately
Mhm.
people are enjoying it, but it's definitely more of a party when it's just like, you're just speed running through something and slashing while
Yeah.
having a fun conversation with chat. But if
Yeah.
you're a new streamer, and I think I know for a fact this is where a lot of new streamers struggle, like, you got to talk. You got to learn how to like talk your way through what you're doing. This is what I'm
Interact with
thinking.
the
Ask
game.
silly questions. Yeah, like, I think out loud.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stupid shit that's said, but the stupid stuff is funny and people
Yeah.
like it.
Well, and it adds an extra layer of actual entertainment. I mean, you're hearing someone's internal dialogue, and I'll give you guys a cheat code right now. Take it or leave it. But one thing that I love doing, and I've noticed helps me talk more, and it's easy to do. Talking shit to NPCs. I talk shit to NPCs a whole damn stream, and because I've got a ton of feedback on it. Dude, I lost. You want to hear? When I was streaming on YouTube, I lost 25 subscribers in one day because I shot a horse in Red Dead. I shot
Wait,
him in the
what?
face.
Really?
Yeah, like people were pissed. They were unsubscribing. I was like, whoa.
I was
This
getting
is,
yelled at for
I was,
shooting deer and
it's
dogs
like
in Division. It's like,
I was like,
people
this is a
video game.
digital horse. You understand? Like, it's not a real horse, right? Like, people are so stupid. It's like, you think that means I'm gonna go shoot a real horse in the face? Like, get a grip. I've lost I lost subscribers one day too. I think it went down like 10 or 15 one day because in one of my streams, I was playing Skyrim, and there was I forget what quest it was, but part of the quest is you are at this little grave site, and there's these little kids that are buried in the grave, and I had my character dancing on the grave like this, just jumping up and down, and I was like, it was very immature. I'm like, those are not real kids. Like, I'm not really gonna dance on a little kid's grave, you fucking lunatics. So, but I don't care. Like, if I think it's funny, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna
There's a
do it.
lot of
I
freaky
don't care.
people in the gaming community, though, dude. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of people living in fantasy land, and they try to bring it to the real world. And so the horse thing, I guess, doesn't really, surprise me too much. It means a lot to me when someone just says hi in chat. I think another thing, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves, people are always like spamming different things, like, come watch me play, come to my channel, subscribe, follow over follow. And it's like, I'm live. And it's like, shut the hell up. I don't care that you're live. I don't know who you are. And you annoy the hell out of me. I'm
Yeah.
not going to show up to your stream out of spite. And it's true. I'm Polish. I got this. I'm more stubborn than you are. I'm not freaking going to show up to your stream. But the people who actually hang out in my stream and have gotten to know me, when I see that they're live, they see me. I show up when I can show up because I'm genuinely interested in the people who are here. So,
well, because
it's a parasocial relationship,
you can tell when people are not just showing up just so you'll come follow their channel or just so you'll like their thing or you'll hang out in their chat, and you can tell, like, it's like you can tell when people are being genuine on stream. You can tell when someone's in your chat and they just keep kind of dropping little hints that they're streaming later. You know what I mean?
I hate that. It's so rude. Yeah,
it's so cringy, man. It's like,
so rude.
Listen, here's what people don't want to hear. There's no shortcuts unless your fucking dad's the CEO or some shit. There's no shortcuts. You have to. Like, you have to put time into your thumbnail. Your thumbnail, I don't care if it's not on YouTube, so there's less traffic, but you still have to stand out. You still have to give a shit about your titles. It needs to be a bunch of gibberish in your titles. You still have to have thumbnails that people want to click on. Like, humans are still humans. All the rules that existed for other platforms, they still exist over here. People put in about 10% of the effort they should put in and wonder why they're not doing as well as people that are putting in 90% effort. And it's just, That's the harsh truth. Like, there's no shortcuts. Like, you have to fucking work for it. You have to show up every day on time, be engaging, make good thumbnails, make good titles. And look, I'm not saying I'm the best of any of this, but I try to be. I mean, I'm putting effort into it, you know. So and look, I have no sympathy for people who put in no effort and then bitch why their shit's not taking off.
Got all
Zero.
these trolls in chat, bastards.
What are they saying?
Like freaking Nifty. I'll be streaming later too. Lamau.
Nifty,
Black Fox. I might be streaming later.
Hey, by the way, go follow Silver Fox Gamer. He may be streaming later.
Yeah,
I'm actually not.
I'll be streaming tomorrow morning. You know what? I don't think I put the. I didn't. I have a different description in the video thing. I need to update that. I have Breezy on there, not you.
What's it say?
I have Breezy's contact information from my first podcast and not you. And it's like, I should probably update. I have a collection of guests here. Oh, right. You guys can't see the screen. I have a collection of people that I binders of streamers.
Glitch said, dude, I trolled Mose by disliking his stream after he joked, saying he didn't have any dislikes on his stream. Well, he must have not been featured. He get plenty of dislikes if he gets featured.
Oh, wait, you're the one who did that? That's funny. Yeah, because I had a dislike. He's like, I want a dislike. It's like,
you want to know something like petty? I think it's petty. I'm not sure. Not from me though. Whenever I'm not featured, I very rarely get a dislike, and that's just because most people that like it are people that want to be there. When I get featured, I get a bunch of dislikes.
I get a ton of dislikes when I get featured.
Yeah.
But whatever, feature me. I'll take the money.
Here lately, I've been getting a dislike or two, even on my non-featured ones, and I think I know who it probably is. I don't want to call out any names.
You'll have to tell me in chat. I've been getting weird dislikes before I go live lately, and it's like, okay, who the hell is back to doing that again? But remember when we had a little issue a little while back? I had dislikes on every single stream going back over a month, and I was like, okay, this is not what normal people do.
Like, I guarantee you. Can we just say it was Josh? We know it was Josh. We know it was, right?
Yes.
But
I don't know who disliked my stream the other day before I went live. Because
do we want to go dramatic tonight, or do we want to keep it?
Do whatever you want to do.
Well, did you guys? Okay, now you know what? I've always said I'm not going to be that kind of creator, and I'm not starting tonight. However, just kidding.
People will come after you if you're a creator at some point.
Sorry, Adam, makes it feel better. It's not you, Ryan. I mean, it may be, but that's not who I thought it was. I think. I don't know, man.
Well, if you don't know for sure, like,
that's
just chat it. Don't call someone out if you don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's because it's obviously impossible to know. So it would be irresponsible. What Glitch say? Negative engagement is still engagement. That's exactly right.
It's true.
I don't think these platforms give a fuck if it's a like or dislike.
I don't know how Rumble views negative, and they won't tell us either. Like YouTube, I know if you disliked a video, you were still really helping them.
Yeah, because it's literally because it's almost like the news. They feed off the negativity. So when videos get dislikes, that just means it's pissing people off. And that's not going to slow. If you're getting engagement, that's all they care about. They don't give a fuck if it's a like or dislike.
If I don't like a video, I just don't watch it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna dislike it unless it's like. I think I disliked a Timcast one time because the guest he had on was so terrible. Oh, it was the Krasenstein brothers. Those guys are psychopaths. And I couldn't do it, man. It was like watching those wokesters on TikTok for 2 hours, and I just to stop watching. And I a lot of people who normally watch him did the same thing. I just couldn't do it. But I don't normally dislike videos because, like, why? What's the point?
Last video that I went out of my way to dislike was that 1UP video last night on the podcast because we were talking about the 1UP guy. I'm just gonna dislike his every time. Fuck that guy. We know he's a slime ball.
It's crazy.
Is he a slime ball or is he just smart, trying to game the system a little bit? I don't know.
He's unethical, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little. Yeah. Anyway.
He shouldn't be stealing content at all.
Yeah, sorry. We don't have to rehash all that. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Nice little dive
So
there. What if okay, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
What have you learned? What is one thing like, how long have you been streaming total? Like 5, 6 years, something like that?
Yeah,
So
5 years. Yep.
what is one thing that if you could have gotten through your head, let's say 4 years ago, would have helped you like along the way a lot, like it would have helped you mature streamer wise a lot earlier. Like something that it just took you a while to like figure out. Maybe it was not worrying about the amount of viewers, or maybe just like what's like the biggest lesson you've learned along the way?
I think the hardest thing is it was the people thing. So when I went through the trans thingy, so a lot of people here don't know the story. So I was on a stream team. It was like kind of like the farm team for a major stream team on Twitch for the Destiny community. And I was getting pretty popular. I was starting to get like 20 to 30 views for my streams, at a time, which is really good on Twitch. And then I would get rated by partnered streamers, and I was starting to really grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew a ton of people. And then a bunch of trans people started hanging out in my streams because that's the Destiny community.
Yeah.
And I used to do a queue with a trans person. She identified as a he, and I wouldn't use pronouns with her because she had this beautiful voice. Like I could not call her he. It wasn't going to happen. And I found with gaming, like voices have become way more of a thing for me, and I can't. Nah, like one time I had this woman jump in with me to play Gambit, and she was this dude with this super husky male voice, and I was like, oh geez.
Wait, so these are all trans people you're talking about?
Yeah, there's a lot of trans people, and they were flocking to my stream, and they didn't
Why do you
like the
think that
trans
is?
discussions we had. Well, I can get into that in a little bit because I asked that question of my community. So this one person came in and they're like, so I have a friend who's trans. Can I talk to you like about what your opinions are? And I didn't say anything bad, but it turns out it was a trans woman. Trans women
Mhm.
are the worst. Oh my gosh.
Male
I
to
don't know why
female or
yes, male to
biological
female.
females?
They will go after women so hard and bully the fuck out of them. And this person tried doing that to me. And I actually did have the support of some bigger streamers like Amaze, but I got kicked off my stream team because of that whole thing, because they made it look like I was telling her directly that she wasn't a real woman, even though I didn't. She was chopping up my video and making it look like that. And that was a painful experience. And at the same time, I was going through some issues with the trans person I duo queued with, because come to find out, like I didn't find out till after I told her to get the fuck out of my life. But she had fallen in love with me and was jealous that I, had a thing for another person, a guy, of course, because I like men. And she was lying to him about me, and she was complaining about me. And I had people coming back to me and telling me that, because look, when people got your back, they got your back. So she started acting really bad and starting to badmouth me when I started saying, look, can you give me space and let me spend time with other people without you there? Because she'd show up in my Discord right when I started streaming in the morning and be there until I went to bed. And I never could be alone with anybody. It was crazy.
That's a lot. That's a lot that you're
Yeah, and then
you're feeling suffocated.
what I learned that year is a lot of the people I was surrounded by, a lot of them were LGBT. Well, they were, yeah, LG and T. And because I mean, I feel like the bi thing is just like, hey, let me fit in, like that. But they all wanted a piece of me. They all wanted to be validated, and I was nice. I'm nice to anyone who shows up and is cool with me. And I didn't understand the situation with this person that I had duo queued with for 2 years and what the hell was going on with that. And I started like doing some research, and it wasn't like looking up psychological conditions. I would be like, why would this person respond to me this way if I did this? And I went through so many different videos and articles from psychologists, and ended up at like narcissism, and started really diving deep into that. And I was like, holy shit. This explains all these other people who got pissed off at me when I drew a line. Like, hey,
Yeah.
boundary.
Well,
And I
'cause
wasn't mean about it. It's like, I just need a boundary. Like,
Yeah.
please respect my space. And like the one person who got pissed at me was, allegedly a friend for like 4 years. And when I drew a line with him, he was a gay dude from England. He flipped on me and unfriended me on every platform, blocked me, messaged all of our mutual friends. Hey, I'm leaving Dice Discord. We had a falling out. And it's like, you don't do that. It come to find out that's actually what narcissists do. And then there's a follow-through period after you guys, break it off. So when this other person that I duocued with, I didn't have her pegged as a narcissist, but I knew there were issues there, obviously. I mean, she was trans, she had an autoimmune disorder. She could die in a few years, literally, from this disorder. She lost her mom at an early age. Her mom had this horrible period of convalescence that she had to like care for her mother, and her dad treated her like no wonder she's fucked in the head, right?
Yeah.
And I always thought I was more of a maternal figure to her, and that's how I treated her. But I found out several months later that she did go through the follow-up period that narcissists do. She did start DMing everyone. She was calling one of the people who was regularly in my stream and crying about me. And, I don't know why.
Turn everybody against you then.
Yes. And that's what narcissists do. The other narcissist was like love bombing the hell out of me, and she was playing the victim card. And a lot of these people in the Destiny community, especially in the LGBTQ community, this is what they do. A lot of them play the victim card, and they try to get attention with that. They try to latch onto you. They got to be in all your games, or they love bomb you. And that's the one that I experienced not quite as much. But like, oh, Diber, you're just so great. And it's like, dude, that's fucking embarrassing. Stop flattering me like that. Like, I love when people genuinely thank me, or like, I really like it when you do this, or your laugh is funny, or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, to tell me how great I am, that's so uncomfortable. Stop it. And it is, it's very fake. And so that was a huge lesson that year. I parted ways with a lot of people. It was very emotionally painful for me. Glitch was there for me. She stuck up for me through that whole thing. Which is funny because she identifies as trans, and then Jez Raya, my other moderator, is gay. They've both been with me for years, and they were with me through that whole thing. And it's like the Destiny community was trying to make me look like I was like this anti-LGBTQ person who was horrible. All right. It's like, no. I mean, I don't validate it. I'm a Catholic, dude, but like, I don't hate people because they're gay.
Yeah, you guys are just annoying. Well, it kind of makes sense. I know this isn't that episode, but it kind of makes sense that a lot of people in that community would be narcissists, because a lot of the way they behave is about, like, they want your compliance, and it's about oppression and victimhood. It's about it, like, they're attention whores. So
they're desperate for acceptance, and they're desperate to be loved. And a lot of them have been raped as children. A lot of them. Yes. The things that I've heard from these folks when they would confide in me. And that's actually a very common thing when you start, pulling out and looking at it from more of a, I can't think of the word, but a more objective, like more of a medical perspective, if it were an authentic medical perspective rather than a political one. But a lot of these folks who've, like, they say that most women who identify as trans men, most of them have suffered great losses or abuses, which my duoQ partner went through. Huge losses. And she had a very serious personality disorder. So it's definitely a group to have compassion for. But as a streamer, I've taken under my wing the people who are genuine. But like when it comes to the narcissist, you can't save them. I'm not a psychologist. There's only so much of me to go around, and I do need downtime. There have been weeks, even recently, where I just didn't stream for a week because I needed downtime. A couple Saturdays ago, I was feeling really just like I had some emotional pain, and I didn't know why. And I was like, you know what? No stream today. I went and talked to my priest and spent the evening at church. Like, I just, I was feeling really not good, and when I was on Twitch, there were so many people always coming to me for things, and you want to help people, but you're one person. You're one person, and you have to have those lines.
Plus, fuck
Um,
'em, you know? Just kidding.
well, yeah, and then like going back to work full time, like I'm balancing a 40-hour job with streaming full time, and I can't be your mom. I can't. I
Yeah,
just can't do it.
whenever you have those people in your life where you feel like you gotta, like, babysit them and keep them keep their energy up, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, like, put your fucking big boy pants on and go be a goddamn person. Like, like, and but then they make you feel like the bad guy if you call them out for anything. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I completely get it.
That's another thing is a lot of these people are really bad to stream with. Like they dominate the voice comms even though they're not streaming. Be
Mm,
wary of people who dominate the voice comms when they're not entertaining. It's like if I gamed with you and you were streaming and I wasn't, I would be kicking back and not doing a lot of talking. We'd probably banter, but I wouldn't
yeah.
be like narrating what I'm doing. What the hell? What the hell, dude?
Yeah, like,
And
I'm
I've
not
actually had to tell people that in Discord, like, hey, yo, can you stop narrating? Because I'm actually doing that as my job right now as a streamer, and I can't do that when you're talking over me.
yeah, I'm right in the middle of dialogue, and you're, like, telling me about your sandwich you're making.
It's crazy. That trans bitch dragged me into that shit. It was someone I freaking opened up to about my freaking struggles with my dysphoria and mental health. Glitch is pissed at her. If you truly believe you're trans, gay, lettuce, bacon, guac, tomato, you shouldn't need outside validation.
Well, that's, you know what? And here's one
Now I'm
thing a lot
hungry.
of those people in that community don't understand is that if they would just fucking relax and just be that and just go to work, just be and don't feel the need to annoy and be like, why do they all have to be activists? Just be the thing and go live your life. No, people would stop giving a fuck immediately. It's when you just shove in our faces. It's all there's like a very tiny fraction of the population is actually trans, but yet they got to be in every video game now. They got to be in every fucking thing. It's
I
like
hate that. Yeah,
it's
stop pushing that
exhausting.
shit on me because it is against my religion. And
It's
like, I'm not
exhausting.
trying to push my religion on everybody, but at the same time, I don't want your religion forced on me in everything that I do. And
And
that's what I feel like is happening. Can't we
yeah,
just have something that's not political?
the LGBT, that whole thing is 100% a religion.
Yes. And it's infiltrated gaming. And I'm glad that people are fighting back. But what I love about Rumble is I feel like we've gone back 20 years culturally because there's actually now I'm surrounded by people who are just normal. Like we have different beliefs, but like we're here hanging out and having a good time. No one here is so insecure that they can't spend time with someone who doesn't believe what they believe or live their life
Yeah.
the way they live it. And
And
that's
you know,
how society used to be, folks.
yeah, back when you could have a sense of humor. And that's why I will never let my sense of humor go. And, because fuck them.
Yep.
And you know what was nice? I made a very, you know, it wasn't racist, but somebody that would call things everything racist was I made a joke last night about Mexicans. And if I did that on YouTube, there's a 100% chance that video is demonetized. 100.
It's so funny, dude. It was hilarious.
Correction is a cult. Wait, what? What you talking about, Willis?
You had a stalker. I didn't have a stalker per se. I have had people who tried to control me though, and you can't control me. I'll tell you that right now. If I get along with you, it's because there's a mutual respect. But no one's gonna control me. I won't.
Battle Roy says, "Tell me the joke, please." Well, I mean, it wasn't like a joke with like a setup and a punchline. It was
We were talking about diverse communities, how we both have diverse communities.
yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be. We were drunk last night. I was high. It'll be. It was. You had to be there. It was funnier in the moment. But basically, I was just like, I have a very diverse group of people to watch my streams. I have normal people, Mexicans, blacks. Like it was just it was funny.
He couldn't even get blacks out. When he said normal people and Mexicans, we all just died. It was great.
That joke would actually be better if I would say, look, I have Mexicans, blacks, Asians, normal people. I can get way more racist with that joke if I wanted. But
Yo, Jay, real people in the community make their gender, sexuality, their soul. Yeah, it's not a personality trait. It's not. Like, stop it. I reject that because it's not your
what's not?
personality, your sexuality.
Yeah, like I think I mentioned this last night too. Like who you fuck and the color of your skin are like the least important, like the least interesting things about you. Like, what's in your heart and your mind? Like, that's literally the only thing that, like, what happened to Martin Luther King? Like, wasn't that like a whole thing? Judging people by the content of their character instead of the color of their skin? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why do we even celebrate Martin Luther King Day? Like, we've made a complete mockery of everything he was working for.
Excuse me, my allergies have been bad.
I have normal people and Mexicans watching my streams.
It's good stuff, dude.
Nifty. Don't be racist. The lettuce, bacon, guac, taco. Oh, I see what she's doing there. The LG. I get it.
So I did ask.
Lettuce, guac, bacon, tomato, guano. It is.
I did ask though. I was like, why? I was crying on stream. We were talking about this stuff, and I was like, why? Why do these people keep flocking to me? And my friend Kat made an interesting observation. She said it's because you're strong and people want a piece of that. And that was very interesting. And I don't think it's that I think people, I mean, I have a hard candy shell for sure. But like the milk chocolate is so freaking soft. It's like gooey. And I think people like me who exhibit strength, it's that we've just learned how to control our emotion better. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to go feel that later or express that later when the camera is off. So, but I also think people who appear strong have probably endured enough suffering to realize that, hey, there is a way through this. Like, you're not going to be, and I'm not a reactionary person usually. I'm not. Like, when there's an emergency, my brain goes into reason through it, like, what's happening?
Yeah. Who
do I need to call? How are we going to fix this? Like, I'm a very logical person and how my brain goes through things. So, and I guess that's what people do value. Like, okay, strong woman who is nice to me. I guess that makes me a target.
Well, I think. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
What's really interesting though was coming to Rumble and having people think, "Oh, well, Diebear is fake because of that." Because now I'm in a different group of people, and there are people who are like, "Oh, she's fake," but it's like there's nothing fake about me. And these are people who never even took time to get to know me. Mm-hmm. And I have people in this chat who have known me for years, and I am the same person I've always been. And the one thing that my lifelong friends have always said about me is, like, when they talk about me to others, they're like, she's real. She's just real.
Yeah.
Because what you see is what you get.
I think too, what probably why that community wouldn't like you is because they feed off weak people who they can bully into compliance.
And I've noticed that women who exhibit like emotional weakness on streams tend to do very well. Yes.
Oh, but someone like you, were like, with they're feeding you their stuff, you know, like, and let's say a friend's trans, or they come to you and they start talking to you about it, you know, you're not the kind of person who's just going to be like, you're not just going to bend your reality to make them feel better. And whenever you start exerting any sort of like self thought, and you have like your own opinions on their reality, they'll turn on you because it's like, that's where the narcissism comes from, because it's about them. It's about, okay, what do you mean you're not gonna play my fucking game? Like, this is my reality. Who the fuck are you? And then they just turn on you immediately. And so the fact, you know, they don't like strong-willed people that they can't conform to their reality.
Yep. They can't control you, and it pisses them off.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. They can't control you, and it fucking makes them so mad. Fuck them.
I'm too old for that shit. I can't do it, man. Like, the older you get, the less tolerance you have for BS. And so, like, being a streamer where it's mostly dominated by younger people who tend to, you know, when you're younger, look, you have more of a tendency towards drama than when you get older. You just don't have the wisdom and experience and the foresight that you have when you're older.
When you get older, you have mortgages, your fucking knees start hurting. You have too much to worry about.
You've actually dealt with real suffering.
You know, and you have kids. Like, I have a kid who has she's had health issues since literally the day she was born. It's like I don't care about whatever the fuck you're talking about. I don't care. Like when I get hate online, my wife does porn. I get plenty of hate. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't mean anything. Like some people, they hear negative comments and they think we're gonna get to this guy. Good fucking luck, dude. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. Like it doesn't matter. I've heard everything you can call me. I had a tough childhood. I have a daughter who's had 40 surgeries. Like we're not talking about little procedures. We're talking big time spine surgeries. She's had lungs removed. I mean,
Wow.
big time shit. So whatever petty little thing, mind game you're playing, like you're bouncing it off Teflon. I don't give a fuck about you. So that's just what it is. I mean, and people think, I've been told many times in my life that when people first meet me, they assume I'm an asshole. I guess I have a resting asshole face. I don't fucking know. And it's because I'm tall, I'm a bigger guy. So people just, I've been told I look like I'm an asshole. And then they get to know me. They're like, yeah, you're still an asshole, but I love you now. because I'm also a very loyal person. Like if I,
Same.
dude,
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to admit I have trust issues. I was abandoned.
I've developed trust issues.
Well, mine came from my childhood. I'll just be honest with you guys. My mom was never there. We were abandoned by her mother many, many times. She died in her 40s because of drugs and everything else. She ran herself into the ground. She died at 42, and she was not a good mother. And my dad was a very lazy man. He was always chasing my mom around town. I won't get into all the reasons, but I have major trust issues. So if I trust you, and I know this doesn't mean anything on the macro scale, no one else gives a fuck. It's just a personal little thing. It means something because it's hard for me to trust people. And, and I've been married to the same woman for over 20 years. There's no person on earth I trust more than her. And my inner circle is like me. I could probably count on 5 fingers how many people I would trust in my life. And, like that fucking means something. I don't know what we were talking about, why we went off on that. Or how'd we get there?
I can't remember. Oh my gosh. So
that was some dead fucking air. That was good. Like that
awesome.
was insane too. That went. Help us out, chat.
I think I don't know why I have the issues I have because like it's not like I mean my parents, I have great parents. They're still married and came from a traditional family. But I think, I don't know, like I said, super gooey center. So I can be very sensitive. And like in the streamer world, I just couldn't believe how people approached me, all the stuff that I told you about, because that's just not how I approach other people. Oh, loyalty. Right. That's the thing.
Loyalty. Yeah.
So I assess everybody. I really do. After going through what I went through a couple years ago and learning about all the personality disorder red flags, I legit, when I meet somebody, I go through the checklist. And the love bombing and the victim card stuff, that's you're out. You're out. And there's a huge difference between that and then just like showing appreciation or just sharing a hardship. Huge difference.
Yeah.
But and I think like with like the dating thing, like I quit dating because I just couldn't. I felt like everyone always wanted a piece of me rather than actually wanting to like find someone to really care about and love. And it was like, well, shit, I'm nothing more than a toy to people, and I don't want to be that either. So I'll just remove myself. And it's kind of funny that I went into streaming because I felt very self-conscious, but I think I just saw it as an opportunity to screw around, and Overwatch got me into it. And then I started, my community started showing up, and then that it just became a new thing. But to answer your question way more succinctly than we did these last, I don't know, whatever, 20 minutes or so, the hardest part about streaming is community management. That's really what it comes down to, because you do have a lot of these huge issues in the gaming community.
Like, are you talking about the gaming community as a whole, or just like the community you try to build with the individuals who watch you?
As a whole, because you're always having people come in and out of your community, and you're going to have those people come in who, like the narcissists, the people who are going to try to control you. We don't have a lot of that on Rumble because you're right, a lot of it is in the LGBTQ community. But we don't have a huge faction of that here on Rumble right now. But we have seen where there are people with issues and they've gone after people, or they bitch about people, or they exhibit some interesting signs that some of us avoid.
JT ain't nothing. I put that dude in his place in 30 seconds. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here, Josh. Like, who the fuck?
I can't believe he did that video about me.
So
like, what
weird.
the hell was that, dude?
Dude, I'll be honest. Look, every now and then, I don't think about it a lot, but every now and then when it does get brought up or I think about it, I'm like, did I do the right thing? Like you didn't know me. I had no reason to defend you. Like
he brought us together as friends.
Well, and after I made the video, because I did it live, I think, and after I made the video, my thought was like, wait a minute, like I don't know her, like because I didn't want a white knight, but it's almost like I know obviously you're not an age to be my daughter, but like almost like the dad in me came out because I have a visceral reaction to bullies. You know what I mean? So like the dad in me came out, and I was like. And I think I even said this, and there's a few things like I felt like I went pretty hard in the paint, and I didn't feel virtuous about it. Like I didn't feel good about it, but I was like, dude, who the fuck raised you to talk to people like this? Like he was mad because you were fake, or like he was saying you were fake and stuff, and he called you a soul sucking cunt. I'm like, what the fuck? You don't. Okay, even if that's true, Josh, even if that's true, who gives a fuck? You're like 40. Go play video games and do your like. Even if that shit's true,
that's what's so bizarre about it.
You know what I think? I think he was trying to. I think he had low numbers. He was trying to stir the pot, and he was trying to be one of those little drama streamers, and he miscalculated his ability to do so. That's what I think it was.
You picked on the wrong person because I'm not exactly controversial. Like it
was stupid. And at the time,
I am who I am. I live my life in authenticity, and I think some people are pissed off that you have this vocal woman who's a moderator for Rumble and actually knows her shit. And I think some people are threatened by that. It's crazy.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's absolutely crazy.
Can I ask you a personal question? It's about gaming. It's not too personal.
Sure.
Do you think because, you said that, you've kind of said you're kind of done with dating and all that. Do you feel that being a streamer and trying to build a community does kind of feel like it's easier to stay single because you have a community in gaming? Like, and if you weren't gaming, do you think you would try to date more?
No, I think because that's actually one of the things I talked to my priest about. I was like, I want to get married. It's just that when I was dating, like all I ran into were guys who thought I'm older. You know how old I am. There's guys who still think that they're players, and guys who just want to have sex on the first date. And it's like, no, not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not interested in anything else. And the other guys who were nice, I got asked out on a second date twice while on the first date. And I'd be like, yeah, that'd be great. Give me a call. They never followed through. And it's like, I'm a traditional woman. You got to fucking follow through. Like, yeah. I already said yes.
Yeah.
And you don't like,
I think
I like strong men, dude. I need a strong man in my life. And they're not exhibiting that. Well, and I think the strong guys at my age are usually already taken. And the ones who would have potential are divorced and they're angry. There's a lot of men my age who exude negativity, and I do not want any of that. I've pushed that out of my life. I used to have a temper. I worked on getting rid of that. I try to put myself with people. I work to create the environment which will help me be the person I want to be. And I do not want to be with a man who is lazy and unhealthy and negative and angry, because I don't want to be any of those. Yeah, I'm overweight. You know how much freaking weight I've lost this last year? Like I put effort into taking care of my body. I'm very healthy. And I do my best at everything that I put energy towards. And I'm trying to live a very balanced life. And I don't sit in front of the TV. I get up and I do things. I make sure I'm moving. And I game, but this is also like it's also a part-time job. So, but it's really hard finding someone at my age who is actually a good match for someone like me. And it's like, I don't want to date anymore. I hate it.
Well, I hate it. It's tough too, because now even like Tinder and all these other, I don't know what all is out there as far as dating goes, but it's all about the quick. It's all about hooking up. Like that's what it's become. And I'm so happy that I'm fucking married, because if I went back out to the dating world now, oh, and I was gonna say this earlier before I forget, I wouldn't count out divorced men per se,
I'm
because
Catholic though. I can't date it. I
oh,
can't.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
all right. Well, then it's kind of a moot point. But all I was going to say, all I was going to say is that I've told my wife before, if something happened to her or we got divorced, whoever came next would be getting the best version of me, because everything I've learned not to do, everything that I've learned in the first marriage. Now, that's not true for everybody, but the second version of me
Well, like I watched
starting out.
Dr. Ken Berry, and he's on his third marriage, and he and his wife are very happy together. And they've done some videos about their marriage, and they were like, I mean, he was very open. He was like, "This is how I was in my first and second marriage, and I was a terrible person,
Mhm.
and this is how I'm different now." And like his
Yeah.
attitude in life has totally changed. And these two have a very beautiful marriage. They're very much in love, and they're both living their best lives. So yeah, absolutely. But again, it's the whole with age comes wisdom thing. So unless the guy like went through the church and got an annulment, I couldn't. So,
That
but they'd
seems
have,
like that's silly.
well, it's to
I'm
show
not trying
that
to be an asshole to your religion, but that
no.
doesn't seem like it would really matter.
So what it means is that they did not enter a sacramental marriage. They didn't enter the marriage basically in truth. So it's like if you lied to your wife to get her to marry you and you actually broke your vows because you lied, that would not be a sacramental marriage.
Okay. Well,
So
I respect it.
so your
Nifty
good
says,
priest
sounds
will
like an
try to bring
asshole.
people up before they get married. It's pretty awesome.
Nifty, call me an asshole one more time, see what happens. I'm not an asshole. Well, maybe I am. I don't know. I try not to be. Nifty, how long have you been married, motherfucker? Well, let's hear your life story, Michael. That's his name, by the way. If no one knows, his name is Michael.
You know everyone by their first name.
I ask them all, because if I know somebody, I want to know their name. I ask people all the time what their name is. Like we got Ryan, that's Matt, or Matt Sedira. Nifty is Michael.
Ryan's just way easier to say.
Then Michael, or then Matt Sedira. Got
Matt
it. Yeah.
Zyra. I like how he has his pronunciation in Twitter. Like I was looking at that one day, I'm like, Matsu Daira. Okay.
Listen, fun fact: your dog can be a witness to your marriage and sign your marriage certificate in Colorado. Is that true? Is that actually true? I don't know about that one.
In Colorado, I mean, they're a bunch of Californians now, so anything could be possible in Colorado.
I think Colorado is on the short list of places I might actually consider moving.
So what's the biggest thing that you learned from streaming?
The biggest thing I've learned from streaming, and this is just going to sound cliche, it is to don't get too high and don't get too low. Like whenever I get featured, and that's why I said earlier, I don't want to sound rude when I say this, but I wish people wouldn't even bring it up, because I just try to log on and take a breath, say be yourself. I don't always do this, like it's not like a thing I do, but I'm just saying this is like my attitude. Like log on, be myself, and don't get too high and don't get too low, because what happens is whenever you do get featured, or whatever, you're not even featured, maybe you had a good day and the chat was popping off, and you're all excited, you're ready to stream tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes, like 25% of those people show up, do way less views, and then you hit that low, and then you don't. Then it feels like work again. And and that's probably the toughest part for me, is just learning how to stay even keel and just being myself at all times. I mean, and I tell people, like when people ask me for advice, not like it happens all the time, but when they do, I give them the two biggest pieces of advice, and I put them in this order for a reason: is be yourself and be consistent. Because I don't care if you can be consistent as fuck, but if you're consistent as fuck, but you're some try hard every day who's overacting and trying to have fake energy, you're just consistently annoying. So be yourself first, then work on a consistency. Even if you can only stream once a week, make it on the same time on the same day, so people know so and so is going to be here at X time every day of the week, or whatever, whenever they can. So, you know, and then you beat that into people's heads long enough, and then they just expect it and they look forward to it. And all these things sound cliche, but
It's true
they're
though.
it's just that's the foundation of getting anything off the ground. Because if you start with anything else, then it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work.
I have people waiting for my streams now that I'm on a schedule. It's funny. And then what really blows my mind is how many likes I get before I go live.
Nice,
It's
isn't
nuts.
it?
Do
You
you
start the stream with 6, 7 likes, 8 likes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you ever have imposter syndrome like when you're about to go live? Do you get kind of like stage frighty?
100% of the time.
Yeah.
It feels weird to me whenever people pop into my chat and they're like being nice and stuff. I have imposter syndrome big time, and I'll be frank with you guys. I don't care. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not confident when I'm doing it. It doesn't mean that I'm faking my genuineness, but I'm like, it just, I don't know, like
It's kind of scary to go live sometimes. Yeah.
because it's like, are people going to show up today? Like, I tell people this
No.
all the time. Like, when I show up and then I get the same people show up and I get the, you know, I'm not talking about, I don't even count the times I'm featured. Like, that almost doesn't even mean anything. And I'm sorry, Rumble, if that sounds rude, but I don't count those days because it didn't happen organically. Someone chose to put me there. It's awesome. You get a few more followers than you would normally, but I don't count those as far as like how I judge how I'm doing. Like, you can't, or it'll just, you'll go crazy. So just the days I know I'm not featured, I'll average 30 or 40 people watching for a while. So drop into my whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, fuck, dude. This is why I have
Imposter syndrome.
If I don't stay on track, I'll ask people what I was saying 100 times during a stream. But yeah, I have imposter syndrome. So whenever I get those same amount of viewers, whenever I'm not featured, it's a fucking surprise, man. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like it's like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm not a confident person as far as like I feel a certain way. I feel like I have a certain status or anything like that. Like I feel like it's going well. I almost have like a when's it going to go bad type of feeling, and I try to stave off those emotions and those fears, and I try to have confidence in myself, and and one thing I've learned to do over the last couple of months is just fucking go for it. Set goals. Like, who gives a fuck? It's Twitter. Say you want to be like I tweeted the other day, and I mean it, by the way. I tweeted the other day that I'm 41. By the time I'm 50, I'm going to be a famous comedian. I told Twitter that, and I said, if you can bookmark it, and so far it's got 3 bookmarks, so that kind of scares me. So I call people on their bluff. People are actually bookmarking it. It doesn't tell you who bookmarked it though. But that's a goal of mine, and I'm going to try to make it happen. And it's scary, man. Like if you're doing anything that you're not doing and it's bigger than you, it's scary. And I want to be a big streamer. I want to be a well-known comedian, and these are things I'm going to go for. I can't promise anybody it's going to happen, of course. All I can do is just try to make right decision after right decision and have the best attitude that I know how to have, and improve. But I mean, that's all any of us can do.
I really want to do full-time streaming again. It was fun. I miss it. I do. And like to not have the corporate job would be amazing.
Yeah.
I am not one of those. I don't live for my career. My career puts food on the table and it keeps a roof over my head. And I'd rather stream full time again. But it is really hard because like I had a day last week where I was legit scared to go live.
Why?
I don't know. I just had the fear. It was tough. I was having
you thought no one would show up or something.
Having imposter syndrome at the max. It was crazy.
So I mean, what were you scared of? The people weren't going to show up or something?
Yeah, I guess that is it. Yeah. It's a terrible. I think what really sucks about streaming after you've been doing it for a while is like, okay, you're a new streamer, you're streaming to 0 people, whatever. You know, you kind of expect it because no one knows.
Not a ton of expectations.
Right. But then when you've had those streams, and Rumble is not the first time I've streamed to 2,000 people. That's why when I got featured the first time, it was like, wow, there's cool. We have 4,000
Yeah.
people. This is awesome. And then I have 5,000 people. I freaking loved it. And people are like, "Di, I don't know how you're so calm." And it's like, been doing this for 5 years, people. And then when Chris showed it to my chat the first time, again, experienced streamer, I just kept my cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't entertaining for Chris, but I didn't even know who he was. Someone's like, "This is the CEO of Rumble." I'm like, "What?" And I just clicked on his name and I looked at how many followers he had. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this really is the CEO." And then he throws money at me and it's like, "Oh, dude, thank you. I appreciate it." It wasn't anything like super crazy because again, it's not the first time I've had someone throw several $100 at me. It's chat. You stream long enough, you're gonna see some crazy stuff. And I don't know. Is it professionalism, Adam? Is that like I don't know.
I think it comes down to, you know, you get to a point where even if you have imposter syndrome, and it may come across as like you have more confidence than you do. Again, I'm just gonna speak for myself. It's not that I'm too cool to acknowledge when I have 1,000 people watching. It really is just like you got to kind of act like you've been there. And my big thing is like when I'm streaming, and let's say I have 25 people watching, which is probably around the average if I'm not being featured.
Same, and it's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's cool. So when then I have that overlap, I don't even know it because I'm trying to hide it. Every now and then I'll peek, but most time, I'll keep it covered. So what I'll do is when then someone will pop in and say, "Hey, cool, you're on the front page," and then I click over and there's, I don't know, 600 people watching. I just remind myself right then and there, don't change a motherfucking thing.
Same. Yep.
Don't try to talk faster. Don't
You
start trying
have to be yourself.
don't start trying to make jokes. Just literally just go on, play the game the way you were playing it for the last hour or 30 minutes, whatever it's been. Because again, it all comes down to authenticity. If you want to impress those people, you're going to have to impress them on those merits based on who you are. Because let's say you do start having all this energy and and they're like, "Oh, this guy's cool. And then that'll fizzle out over the next week whenever they realize, "Oh, wait, the guy's not like that at all." So you just be yourself and let the chips fall where they may. Like that's the only real shot any of us have to do this. You got to be yourself, unless you're like a clear character. Like Doctor Disrespect has a character and he stays in character, and that's different. But for the other 99.9% of us who don't have a shtick, you better just be yourself and find your little niche and find your group of people that are like-minded, that share your interests and want to come back. Like, focus on a small community of people that you can build meaningful relationships with.
Glitch says, "I feel like imposter syndrome is a side effect for a lot of things. Doing commissions, especially this most recent one, has me like, do I really deserve this much for this? Do people really like it?" Imposter syndrome, says Ryan, never goes away with anything. I've been doing my work for 2 decades and I still feel it. Yeah. Yo, American, I came from the truther side of Rumble. This gaming community is the most genuine and sincere group of all Rumble. Dude, yes. I love the gaming community here. I
love that there is a gaming community here. I came from Rumble or from YouTube, and like I was only there for a year, but I mean, it was every man for themselves. I mean, at the very top, you had like Doc and Tim would collab. At the very top, they had their little very successful clique, but there was like no like YouTube gaming community of like people that really were invested in the community side of it. And I think part of it is I think over here on Rumble, it's a much smaller pool of creators. And I think there's a kind of the underdog mentality that we all probably kind of see Rumble as. And I'm sure that plays a role in it.
We're here at the right time. Seriously, because we are the OGs right now. Yeah.
And I think from here on out, I think like we are here at the right time, assuming Rumble keeps doing the right moves to make it something better in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see, but I'm in the right place. Look, this is it for me, man. Like, I'm not going like, unless, like I said the other day, unless Rumble's playing around views or something shady shit like that, where it's all fake. That's probably the only thing. Like, if they're improving, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna stick it out. But unless there's some like nefarious stuff going on, then I'll go stream to 5 people and just change my goals and go focus on realty. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm not gonna stream to 25 people when 3 of them are real.
I would expect chat, like legit expect it to get way better with more viewers when these apps get fixed, because a lot of the apps are still really problematic for people and they're having a hard time engaging. So
I think they need to find a smart, responsible way to remove barriers to entry to get to the chat. Like I know
yeah,
people like the phone number thing because it helps with, you know, make sure you get real people, and then phone numbers are harder to replicate than emails and shit like that. But I don't know. It's just there's too much barrier to entry to get into the chat, and chat is such a big deal. The chat is such a big deal when it comes to a streamer and a streamer's community.
it's everything.
It really is.
Seriously.
Yeah, when I'm on data, I can't send messages in chat sometimes. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Never heard that one.
What are you on, Glitch? Yo, Glitch, actually, can you tweet that to me and tell me like what app you're using, what phone and all that?
Nifty said the app and the website are not the same. Yeah, and
The website's way better.
I brought that up several times. It's like they're not even, they don't even feel like the same platform. I mean, it's called Rumble. You can see the people, like, yeah, it's. I know, again, this isn't that episode. You know, I don't want to like start doing all that crap again, but yeah.
We did that last night.
Dude, I am shocked every time I finish a podcast the next day and I'm on the front page again. I'm like, they clearly don't watch those episodes.
Let me see.
I'm on the iPhone XR. Isn't that like 5 years old?
What is the XR?
She's got one of those little yellow ones.
How old is it? It could be your cell provider.
Dude, I don't know what happened to Verizon. Verizon used to be blazing fast. I can barely send pictures anymore. If I'm out there
Really?
off of Wi-Fi and it'll say 5G, I'll be FaceTiming with my wife and the FaceTime won't go through. Like Verizon's dog shit now.
Dude, turn off the 5G on your phone and see how it works.
Well, when it goes down to 4G, it's even worse.
Wait, really?
Yes, I swear to God, like 4G is horrible. If it goes to 4G, my phone's a paperweight.
That's crazy.
I swear to God. Wait, guess what? Do you have a yellow phone? I was just guessing. That'd be pretty awesome, though.
How old is your phone, Glitch? I'm curious.
It's a 5-year-old yellow iPhone XR. How much you want to bet? Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. Never mind. All right.
Okay, so I think a lot of people have been like, I don't like Twitter, it's negative. And it's like, if you look at my Twitter feed, mine is actually pretty fun. Although Elon did something to where it's not as fun as it used to be. Like I never see Michael Malice anymore. And it's like, but I like Michael Malice. But I have met so many people on Twitter in the gaming community. Like that's how I know Joker. He Darkside Royalty. He's a huge Destiny content creator on YouTube. We know each other. Ginger Prime, Final Fantasy guy. We know each other. I have a guy from Blizzard following me. He's a huge Diablo content creator.
Really?
Yes. Met him on Twitter. And then I have several Destiny content creators who are following me who I'm pretty sure these guys have all got to be conservative. So it's like, you know who the conservatives are if they're following Diebear. There aren't very many lefties following me, but they're there. But I think Twitter, when it comes to networking, dude, that's been the best place for me for streaming. I'm very active on Twitter. I'm just, scrolling through it, getting my news, commenting on things. Sometimes I get drunk and I just have a drunk night on Twitter and it's fun. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've done that. I've made friends way.
All my 10-minute videos on Twitter will be with a gummy and a couple of beers. I think one of them I labeled truth bombs. Like, what the fuck am I talking about? Like,
so I think Twitter has been tremendously useful for growing my community. Like even before I came to Rumble, I started meeting people through like Joker in Ginger Prime, and they started like playing with me in Destiny, and these are people who communicate with me all the time now. Like a lot of people who follow me on Twitter and engage with me and are like sharing my streams and stuff. These are people I never knew if it wasn't for Twitter. So
yeah, that side of Twitter is awesome. Like you can you can keep a community going when everyone's not streaming, which is pretty cool. And it's like it feels instant. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's something weird about Instagram where it's like the way the like the comments and the conversations go, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, just
Instagram doesn't make sense to me.
No, it feels clunkier. But Twitter's like Twitter really is great. Like functionally. And it's great for building communities, great for keeping communities alive even when you're not streaming. And it's fun to share, share little gifs under people's comp posts, just silly stuff. But that For You shit, when I get into that, I'm pissed off within 2 minutes.
Oh, they added a verified tab. Wait, that's on my notifications. Yeah, For You and following is just neither one of them work for me. Because there are bigger people on Twitter who I'm no longer seeing, who I loved seeing posts from. But like since they tweet like 12 hours before I get up or whatever, it's not showing them to me. I don't know. It's weird. So now I have to go hunt someone down. Like, oh, I wonder what this person's doing because I haven't seen them tweet in a while. Do you prefer your GIF creamy or crunchy? Depends on my mood.
Nasty as hell, Ryan. Better be creamy. When I was little, I used to like crunchy peanut butter, but I've abandoned that in my adult age, my adult years. Creamy's way better.
I like crunchy once in a while, but yeah, creamy is so good, especially on toast with like butter.
Joke's on you. You prefer. I'm trying to think of
Nutella?
a joke. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a nut joke there. Nut. You prefer Nutella? I don't know. There's something there. I'll figure it out. No, it didn't go over my head, Ryan. I just didn't engage with it the way you wanted me to. I know exactly what you were doing.
That, and dude, you can't make a peanut butter reference and not expect us to go after that because it's peanut butter. Like, who doesn't like peanut butter? Joke was DOA, dude. Did you see Nicki Minaj versus Ben Shapiro? No? Wait, what? Can you link that?
Send us a link. That's a
joke's on you. I don't like nuts. I like tacos. Jez, so this is funny.
Heyo.
Jez is my gay moderator, and he can't have spicy food because it makes him feel sick. So he doesn't like tacos, like any tacos.
Hey, Glitch, whenever you hear me make a joke, just keep this in mind.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
You guys can hear that, right? I don't just sound like an idiot.
I heard it.
Okay, good. If you can hear it, I think they can hear it.
It's funny. We need that link.
Nifty. We need the Twitter drama. We need that link.
If you're gonna bring it up, you need to have that link ready.
There it is.
Drop it while it's hot. All right, let me bring this up. We have. Wait, it's a video? Hold on. Presents. Share screen. Ben Shapiro on Twitter. So it's a video? Oh, wait. Nikki said, Roman said, leave his ass out of it, sir. No pun intended. Okay, wait, there's more. Here's Ben. Okay.
Pound Town 2 is the sequel. The sequel, more pounding. Pound Town 2, more pounding. Pound Town 3, I assume, has Ewoks, because Pound Town 2 has Nicki Minaj in it. This is Pound Town 1. So before we get to Pound Town 2, before we get to the return of Pound Town, we have to start with Pound Town 1. I've pitched it pretty strongly here. So here we are, Sexy Red in Pound Town. Yeah. I'm so hesitant to read the lyrics to this thing out loud.
Do it.
It's going to be even more memeable than WAP if I do. But you know what? It has to be done. I can't live with myself reading it, and I can't live with myself not reading it.
Oh, this is amazing. Let's go.
So for all those
I love his
who
reaction.
are watching this now on the left, this is me reading the lyrics to Pound Town. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I'm out of town, thuggin' with my rounds, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown. We're now doing color descriptions of bodily orifices. Where's the N-words? I'm looking for the hose. Quit playing, N-word. Come suck a toe.
She took that from Jax.
I'm out here in Miami looking for the hoochie daddies. Where they at? Where the N-words? Get that ratchet. Where they at? My son need a new pappy. Well, that seems like this all seems like an amazing way of capturing an excellent father for your son. I'm so glad that you've decided to open applications by describing the color of the color of your booty hole. You know I'm sexy. I'm the best. I'm the S word, little bitch. I'm that. You know it. I can't say his name because he be cheating. Yeah, and I'm the reason. And apparently, Nicki Minaj found it necessary to do a second version of Pound Town. I was hoping that it was Pound Town Roman. It is not. It's just Pound Town 2. So like Zootopia 2. It's not like you know, Empire Strikes Back or something.
That was good, man. I might have to go back and watch like the original thing. That's freaking hilarious. So then Nikki says, Roman said, "Leave his ass out of it, sir." No pun intended.
Who's Roman? I don't get it.
I don't know either. Not possible, Nicki Minaj, since you have apparently never recorded a song that left your ass out of it. Wow. Let me see.
I actually don't think Nicki Minaj is one of the actual crazy ones. Like, I've seen her off and on Twitter, and she's actually taken some heat from the left a few times for things she's said in the past. I think I'm not saying she's not crazy. I don't know. I obviously don't know her. But I don't think she's as bad as a lot of the ones in the entertainment industry.
But wait, there's more.
He's got like 3 more links in your chat. I don't know if those are the ones. Maybe you can get those.
Next time I'll be sure to add my dick so you can suck it. Love you. Wow. That's so crazy.
Damn, bro.
She's a classy chick, dude. I could be more like Nicki Minaj.
I like the love you. That's funny.
This is in response to surprise twist. Nicki Minaj was the one with the anaconda all along. There we go. Okay, this is great. This is really great. Wow. Ben Shapiro on Twitter.
You know what's funny? I bet if those two had a conversation, I bet they would love each other. I have a weird feeling they'd get along.
People
Maybe I'm wrong.
People like him when they meet him. Because he's not a bad guy. It's funny, I don't really care for his show, but like I like his reaction videos because they're funny.
Yeah, well, it's funny to see his actual sense of humor come out, and it's not all about I'm a robot, blah 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 blah. You know, when he actually has humor about these things.
Okay, you want to see something really crazy? I tried watching this interview, and I'm sorry, chat, it's on YouTube. My brain was so confused by what I was hearing. We don't have to play the whole thing, but man, this is some cray cray. All right, let me do a present again.
Hey guys, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get her to 100 followers. Come on.
That's true. We need 100 followers.
She only needs 3 more. Don't be a dork.
All right, listen to this shit.
Different types of anti-Semitism. If you're a racist against Black people,
this is a great topic. Wow.
Based on the color of their skin. If you're racist against the Jews, you're anti-Semitic. Then there are actually a few different ways that breaks down. Right? You have anti-Semitism in terms of ethnicity, which is like Nazi-esque anti-Semitism. You have Jewish parentage. You have a Jewish grandparent. They're stores to control things.
Yeah, the most absurd illustration of anti-Semitism, just like you said, is Stalin versus Hitler over Poland. That every bad guy was a Jew.
Right.
It was like, so every enemy, there's a lot of different enemy groups, intellectuals, political, and so on, military, and behind any, what does the fact that Hitler took power teach you about human nature? When you look back at the history of the 20th century, what do you learn from that time?
I mean, there are a bunch of lessons to Hitler taking power. The first thing I think people ought to recognize about Hitler taking power
great
is that the
topic.
power had
Let's
been
clear it up.
centralized in the government before Hitler took it.
So when I started listening to this interview, I obviously didn't get far if you look at the red bar, but I was like, holy shit. Ben Shapiro is on 1.5 speed and Lex is on half speed with how they're talking. And
Yeah.
that's why I had to end the interview because of that. I couldn't track. My brain could not handle that. It was so weird. The pacing. The question of the day: are Jews a race or religion?
Wait, I thought you were
God.
showing us something. You just quit the video. Oh, you were doing it just to show us the damn speeds of their
The
voices.
pacing of their yes.
Jesus Christ, Diane! I thought there was like a
Wait, you
point
want to
there.
watch some more stuff about Jews?
No,
and Stalin?
not
I
now.
can
I
bring
thought there was like a Jesus Christ. Who's producing this thing?
I just wanted to. I just wanted to make a comment about the
That was
pacing of their voices.
You were taking me on, like I was paying attention to what they were saying. I was like, oh, she must be trying to get to like there's like a certain thing she's trying to show us. That's why
I can send you the link.
Nah, it's okay. I don't care that much.
I talk in 1.5 speed or double speed, depends on my mood and topic.
I thought we were going to watch the full thing. That's what I thought. Well, I thought she was trying to show us something that like they talked about that was interesting to her. No, all along she was trying to show us the speeds of their voices, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like a 2-hour video. What, you want to do a watch party about the Jews and Stalin? That's a happy thing.
Oh, hey, if you want a good conversation, if you ever have a couple hours and you're like want to watch a podcast, there's a Lex Friedman and Todd Howard interview where they talk about the whole history of like Fallout, Skyrim in the future with Starfield. It's a really good deep dive into like the mentality and the approach that goes into like making their games, like some of these greats with, like I said, Skyrim and Fallout games, and it's a really good interview if you're like a nerdy gamer and you like that shit.
You want to hear something controversial?
You don't like Todd Howard?
I don't like Lex Friedman.
Okay, well,
I can't do him. Nah.
I mean, I don't listen to his pod. The only time I listen to Lex Friedman is if I see him like in a clip. I did watch that one. I did watch that. I watched it on the plane when I was going to Dallas. But other than that, I've only seen him when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't like watch his podcast religiously. So
That's an interesting comment. So, like, is there a person who you like to see as the guest on a show, but you don't actually watch their show?
Well, I'll tell you this. There's I used to like Chris D'Elia a lot. Like I liked him on his podcast. I think he's really funny. He's a really good guest on other people's podcasts. But I saw some of his stand-up and I just don't think he's that funny. Like I think his stand-up I think he's a way better podcaster than a comedian. I know that doesn't directly answer your question, but yeah, there's that.
That counts.
That counts.
For me, it's Michael Malice. I love when he's a guest on shows. Like I'll catch him on like all the Daily Wires, Timcast, and other shows. But like his show, I don't like. I'm not even subscribed to him on YouTube. I've watched a couple of shows because he had some really good guests on, but yeah, I don't watch his show.
There's only a few podcasts I listen to. Well, hopefully one of them is The Bare Truth.
Hopefully, we'll see if it ever, gets consistent. What's your favorite podcast?
The Joe Rogan Experience is the only one I really listen to. Yeah, I listen to that probably every day because he puts out a couple a week, and they're usually like 2 or 3, 4 hours long. So it's like a never-ending well of content because I only listen to like 15, 20, 30 minutes at a time whenever I'm driving or I'm in the shower. I'll watch some of it. So there's always something to catch up on. Yeah, what I love about Joe Rogan is I don't agree with him on everything, but I never feel like he's lying to me. So I disagree with a lot of his things.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he seems very genuine and he seems very curious, and he has they'll have scientists, comedians, UFC fighters, fucking artists. Like it's almost like it's a really good education, honestly. Like not every guest, some guests are just silly, they don't mean anything. But he has so many like scientists, people like documentary makers, filmmakers. Like he has so many, and these people, and you get to just listen to. And he's such a good. He's probably the best conversationalist I've ever like, especially over the last 2 or 3 years. Like he's a master at it. His ability just to ask engaging questions because he's actually listening, and then just to give them the floor and let them get it out, the reason they're there, and to have them let them pour their hearts out. Like, he's just it's something. If you watch him from a technical perspective, you can learn a lot from watching his show. Like from a, like if you're trying to podcast, like I think he's the best, but I haven't listened to all of them. Obviously,
He's still on Spotify, right?
Yeah, I think he's locked in. Like he made a bunch of money to go over there.
I don't have Spotify, and I don't really like Joe Rogan. Like it's not because of his opinions or anything. He's not, again, another person I don't really enjoy hearing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Goes back to that. There's something for everybody, who cares?
Right. He did an interview with Jewel though, and I saw a 10-minute clip of that on YouTube, and I was like, oh man, I want to see this whole thing. That interview, that snippet, that was so fascinating. That woman is really interesting. So someday, if I ever get to see that, I love Blair White, Ryan.
I've always thought she was really pretty too. I've always thought Jewel was very attractive.
Yeah.
I've always been attracted to the way her teeth sit. Like, there's something about her.
Real. Yeah.
Well, it's imperfect, but she's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. It's her thing.
Joe Rogan did a podcast within the last week with Robert Kennedy Jr. And it's not really about politics. It's a lot about like the vaccine stuff. It's a really fascinating podcast. I think you might actually, because the world we kind of exist in with, giving a shit about these issues with kids and vaccines and all that shit. It's a really good podcast. You might actually like that one.
I was watching quite a few regularly. I think the one I've been catching the most, of course, I watch Timcast. Like I'm a community promoter in his server, so I have a role there, like during his show, but like I'm not always there. But like Michael Knowles in the Daily Wire, I thought he was so pretentious and hoity-toity when I first saw him, and I hated him. And then like I wish they'd post him on Rumble, but they'd post all these like fun things, like the yes or no game where they drink, and then like he'd do like these weird things like dictator trivia with Michael Malice, and I click on it because like, come on, how can I not click on that stuff? I'm like, oh, Michael Malice. And then I started to understand Knowles's personality a little more, and I was like, okay, this guy's he's really smart, but he's also really funny. So then I went back and checked out his show again when I got Daily Wire Plus, and I was like, all right, I like Michael Knowles. So he's now like my favorite Daily Wire person. And someone, I forgot who it was, someone in the Rumble community, they were like, yeah, he has like what did he call it? Like when you have a groupie, like people who follow you everywhere. No, not like stalkers, but like kind of like his entourage, the Michael Knowles cult or whatever.
I would have said groupie, so I don't know.
We'll say groupies because I think that captures the spirit of it. But he said, oh yeah, he has like this, this cult. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he says, well, like every time he's on a show, all of his fans show up. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. Like I watched the freaking whatever podcast because Michael Knowles was on it, and it was good. Like, oh my gosh, I hate the whatever podcast. The guy who's the host is such a beta male. Freaking hate that guy. But it's interesting. I have watched a few episodes because he had people on who I knew, and I wanted to see how they would interact with these women who just know nothing about life. And that's the whole, people study part that I get hooked on sometimes. Like I'm just like observing and trying to figure out these reactions and the meaning behind it. But like the Michael Knowles one was hilarious because he totally made the host like a pansy. And all the girls, you have Michael, who's like this rad trad Catholic, and he's sharing everything he believes. And at one point, the host is like, well, who do you like better, me or Michael? And the girls are all like, him. they all loved Michael Knowles because he had like this suave demeanor
Yeah.
and he was very respectful of them, even though he was preaching something that they didn't believe in. And it was really fascinating.
Well, I think a lot of these people, like a lot, especially, I think it goes. I'm biased, of course, but I think it goes more left to right, where a lot of people on the left assume the worst. And you know what? That's unfair. It probably goes both ways a lot, but we assume the worst about somebody because of their political beliefs. But if you sit down and just talk to people, we have so much more in common. Like at the end of the day, people want to feel safe. They want a roof over their head. They want to be able to eat when they're hungry. They want clean water. You know, if you have kids, you want your kids to go to. You want low crime. Like we all want like basic stuff where we can live in civility. And
Yeah.
all this extra stuff is so like it's propaganda to make us hate each other, to keep us divided. So the people at the top use that as a distraction so they can just keep doing whatever the fuck they're doing and keep all the power they have.
Well, the extra stuff is a sign that you're living in a super privileged society.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh my gosh, because the people who are screaming bloody murder and saying their lives are terrible and they're gonna die, they have so much. Like you have like assholes on TikTok who make way more than I do, and they think they have it bad. And I have to show up to work and be responsible every day and do my job and fix problems that cost people many thousands of dollars if they're not fixed. All they have to do is talk about something unsavory on TikTok and they get money thrown at them. And it's like, okay, you have a bad life? Excuse me?
Have you seen those videos on TikTok where this guy is, I think he's from Britain, he's a black dude. He's literally made himself like famous, I guess infamous or famous but he has like a huge following, and he goes into like people's homes just unannounced because in the UK it's almost impossible to have like a gun or defend yourself, and they know this. He's literally made like a TikTok famous account by just harassing, like literally he'll go in their houses, he'll start eating their food. He's just such a fucking scumbag. Like, he's just feasting on the fact that he can just do it. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
he's been in trouble with the law a bunch of times. He's been, I think he's even went to jail before, and he just keeps doing it. Man, like, this generation, I'm sorry. Like I like the 80s and 90s, where you just like things had consequences. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't just be a piece of shit and just get away with it. And
That's how it
now,
used to be again.
now
Yeah.
it's like these governments have just stripped people of their abilities, and it's happening over here more, but it's more over there right now, where they strip their ability to defend themselves, and they have all these hate speech laws, and just it's dystopian, man. Like this world is getting scary.
He makes black people look like animals, not racist because I'm black. I mean, look, if you speak the truth, you speak the truth. But yeah, I don't know. What a douche nozzle.
I'm glad you said it, Nifty, because I have a beef with the Mexicans right now, so I'm trying to put that fire out.
I like the Mexicans. Although we had a Mexican black whore on my stream on Friday, so that was funny.
A Mexican black whore?
War.
Oh.
I wish I knew where it was because it was funny. Oh yeah, all sorts of. I'll have to find that.
A Mexican black war? What
war?
What do you mean? Like what happened?
Between Psycho J Real and Big Gun, who's Hispanic.
Were they fighting?
Oh yeah.
Or were they on the podcast?
They were. Big Gun was in chat, and then Psycho and J Real were on the stream. It wasn't like, hey, I mean, everyone's friends. They were just screwing off with the racial slurs and stuff, and it was like, oh my gosh.
I don't know J Real. I don't think I do.
J Real, are you here? Are you still here? He might be working.
Oh, I've been from earlier in the stream. Yeah. Is he a streamer, I guess? Is he stream over here?
Yeah, he streams on Twitch, and then he just got 5 followers today.
Ooh.
Mother Trucker posted my Discord. He's like, yeah, I'm still trying to get 5 followers. I can't stream yet. And he's had an account for a while. I'm like, what the hell, J Real? Why didn't you tell me you needed 5 freaking followers? So then I just asked everyone on my Discord to follow him, and boom, Insta.
I'll tell you how long I've been at Rumble. It's only been a couple months, but when back in my day, you had to have 100 followers, or you had to pay for it, and I was paying like $25 a month because they didn't know any better. I definitely nick my uncle's laptop to do Offensive Fridays with you. Oh, she's definitely from across the pond, saying words like Nick.
Nah,
Right?
she's from Arizona.
Arizona. Why the fuck are you saying things like Nick? That's some British people shit.
She wants to play Siege on Friday. I joined Rumble original in 2017. What? Wow. Mine was 2020 apparently.
I don't know what time. I don't know when I joined. I think I made a Rumble account a long time ago. I just never.
It's on
used
your
it.
about page. Yeah. Someone pointed that out to me the other day.
Let's go to my about page. Oh my gosh, Sammy's being featured. She's got 2,000 people watching right now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
She's the new Maroni, dude. She's getting a lot of features.
Oh, it says I joined. Okay, well, my Silver Fox Gamer I joined November 15th, 2022. Okay. What about my
When did you join? 2022?
November 2022 is when I joined.
When did I join?
Good question.
It was 2020. November 28th. Wow, it must have been Thanksgiving and I was bored at my parents, so I signed up for Rumble.
I'm an old soul. Leave me alone, old man. What the fuck did you just say to
She's
me?
giving you shit. We need 3 more followers, chat.
Glitch,
3
don't
followers.
even fucking, don't sass me, okay?
Bring
Don't-
your friends. Bring your
don't-
friends.
Don't sass me. Okay? I've had enough with the sass. Son of a bitch.
So when's your next stream?
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Central Time.
Mine's at 7:30.
Dude, that is wild. Yeah, I'm not like you must be on the East Coast because you go live.
Yeah, I'm in Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan. Is that East Coast? That's weird. I never think it. I
It's
think of
Eastern
Michigan.
time, yeah.
Okay.
We're on the western edge.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So we have later days, which is nice.
Yeah. Whenever you show that, or when I see that you're going live at 6:30, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna miss most of that because I don't. My alarm doesn't go up till 8:30, and that's 9:30 your time.
It's tough though, like with the shift change for work. I hate that. But stream wise, I wish I could go live at like 9 a.m., dude, and just stream for like 5 hours. That's the best time slot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I love my. I kind of give myself a 10 to 2 time slot, but I'll go 3 or 4 sometimes.
Yeah, that's a great
I'm
time
feeling
slot.
good.
I noticed on Twitch too, like I'd go live at like 8. And if I didn't go live, people would be like, "Where are you?" Because like they wanted all the people at work just wanted to hang out and listen to the stream. And I noticed like around 2:00, that's when it would start dying.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, well, afternoons suck. So if I need to get something done, I'll go do it at like 2 p.m. But then I didn't want to leave because I don't like leaving at 2 p.m. during rush hour. So
Well, and another reason, if you can get a nice little community of people like morning viewers, those are good viewers because those are usually people that are either at work or they're at home. They're adults, unless it's summertime. Like most kids are like right now. My average viewer has got to be like 35 or 40. Like it's up there a little bit, which
yeah,
I'm thankful for. That means they're like actual people that want to be there.
mine is like about 5 viewers when I start because it's 7:30. I mean, come on. And then it starts to get a little bit more, and then by like I'd say like 9:30, I start to get like 20 to 30 viewers. And what sucks is the stream is like getting ready to explode by the time I have to get off, and it just sucks. Like having to get off at 11 is not cool.
Well,
But
what are you?
But I was hearing 100 and some to 200 and some when Rumble was editors picking me. So yo, Rumble, give me like an editor's pick each week. Come on.
Yeah, especially when you're going live that early.
There's no reason not to give me a freaking featured for an hour, dude. There's no reason not to.
There's not very many gamers streaming that early, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Get this girl some more features.
Yeah, we need to get to 1,000.
Chat.
Let me see. So let me see. Rumble.com/diebear.
I bet you'll be at 100 with this by your next episode, hopefully.
763. So I got a few more today.
Yeah, you'll pass me soon. As soon as you hit 1,000, you'll start. It'll be good.
I don't know, man. It's tough.
It's real tough. It's real tough when you're not featured. Like, because there's not a ton of discoverability. So when you're featured, it's nice for sure.
This is why I bitch when I don't get featured for a while. It's like you're featuring other people a lot. You can throw me a feature once a week. It's not, and with the time slot I'm in now, put me there for an hour straight. And I've explained this to Wojtek, like maybe Rick, I don't know, but like to feature someone for 5 or 10 minutes or 15, that's don't get them up to 500 people and stop. You need to have a couple thousand people at least, because I realize that when I get a couple thousand people in my chat, I get a lot of follows.
Yeah.
Because it's not about just exposing you to a few more people. It's about exposing you to a wide pool of people, so the people who will actually like you will find you.
Yeah.
And I don't think they get that yet, but they gotta stop being stingy with the features for some people. And I think you and I are engaging enough where it's okay to give us a featured, although I've been seeing you featured. You have the good time slot. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But they need to give it to you long enough to get a couple thousand people. They really do.
And here's the thing, and I've said this several times, and I mean this. If we had an algorithm that was just picking and choosing based on the actual just watch time, engagement, impressions, and all that, and that's like I don't care. Like I would rather never get on the editor's picks again if it meant I could trade that in for an algorithm that is fair to everybody.
And don't be secretive about the freaking algorithm either. Like, look, if you're doing proper keywording, you deserve to get your views. You're doing your job right. And they're so afraid. They're so afraid people are going to game the system, but that's not the kind of stuff people are gaming the system on. And there are ways to work around that. Like limit the keywords. It's not that hard.
I'm not a coder. I'm just a dummy who shows up and plays video games and talks shit to NPCs for 5 hours a day. Matt Sadar says, although I don't show up in search most of the time, so I'm screwed either way.
You don't show up in search? Are you writing things out in your description? Because the description does matter. Hardcore.
I want to see something. So when I go to Rumble, the game I've been playing is the Outer Worlds. Also, I want to search for the Outer Worlds real quick. I just want to see, because there's no way anybody else in this platform is playing it. Yep, it's the first one. It's okay. Well, I don't know then, Ryan.
I used to come up for Destiny 2, but now it's all Destiny, the dude. And it's like, if someone types in Destiny 2, the stuff that's coming up should be Destiny 2, not Destiny.
Yeah. If you're putting the exact search, that thing should, especially with like offline content. Like we were searching for Dark Souls 3 yesterday, doing that same experiment, and we were having to scroll for pages to get to Ryan, and he just streamed like the day before. It was the most recent, had the most views, and it still wasn't showing up. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, I don't know how to explain that, dude. I don't know. I searched for the Outer Worlds, and that popped up quick as fuck. I don't know.
Another thing I noticed.
Ryan's gonna shoot himself tonight, and I'm gonna feel bad about it.
I know I'm one of the better streamers, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but when I'm checking numbers on the front page when I am streaming, like I'll be they don't give you a number on your video on the front page chat unless you have over 10 people.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I've observed. And like I'll have like 20, 30 people watching me and no one else has a number when I'm on. And I think, that's a little bit of a testament to your ability to stream and whether or not you should be promoted a little bit more. Like if you're drawing numbers, then maybe they should help you grow a little bit.
Is it possible?
Which is kind of to your point.
Is it possible that the reason, because someone has to put you in editor's pick, so maybe you're streaming so early, there's just no one at Rumble working yet?
No, because I was EP for a straight week when I was first doing the Diablo playthrough. So yeah, they were EPing me around like 9 a.m.
Well, I was trying to play devil's advocate, but then I don't know.
And they did it every day, which was weird. But like, I don't need it every day, but like, throw me a bone at least once a week,
She doesn't need it every day, but at least 6 days a week, Rumble. What are you doing? Let's go.
I'll take 6 days a week. My favorite is when they feature me on a Friday night and then they just let it sit there, or like Saturday morning and they just let it sit on EP for the rest of the weekend. That'll get me 100 to 200 follows. It's huge.
Yeah, that one's nice
Like,
because
please
I
give
have
me
noticed
that
that.
time slot.
Yeah.
Yes. That's my favorite.
Master Dyer says someone has it out for me over at Rumble. I find that hard to believe, right? Because I don't know why. Look, obviously I don't know. I've never shook hands with a single person at Rumble. I've had a few Zoom calls with their devs, just doing brainstorming about ideas and stuff. But other than that, like I don't fucking know, dude. Like it's hard for me to believe that your criticism would if they're shadow banning you over that, then that goes against every fucking thing Rumble's ever said they stood for.
I don't know. I think
So
your criticism's pretty spot on.
yeah, well,
It's
and
not been
even if it
offensive or
wasn't,
annoying.
Rumble doesn't seem like the kind of platform that would shadow ban people just because they are kind of critical of their website. Like that just doesn't make sense that they would do that. I don't know.
You have never been one of those people who, like, I'd read your stuff and I'd be like, oh my gosh, Ryan, just shut up already. Stop bitching about that. No, you're not one of those people. I think a lot
Even
of your
if you
stuff is very
were,
well
I
written.
don't think they would shadow ban you. Like
No,
I mean,
they're pretty good guys. But the search results, if you're relying on search, right now, the name of the game is go live and get some viewers. Like, you need to be on the front page. Of course, you don't really have much control over that, but that's why we've been bitching. So it's so weird.
Well, and I also realize that I have it a little bit easier than some people, just because I do have the ability to go live at the same time every day. You know, other people have day jobs, and it kind of varies when they can go live and what time to go live. You know, and that's unfortunate, but you know, if you can be consistent, man, like that's. Okay. I'm gonna be dead horse now. We don't have to talk about that.
Feature my N Matsudaira.
What's
Oh,
N
I
stand
got
for?
you. I got you. Feature, yeah.
My
With an A,
ninja?
not a hard R.
You guys thought I was gonna say
Yeah,
it,
feature my ninja Matsudaira. There you go.
didn't
Oh my gosh, nifty. Well, you got any closing thoughts for the chat? Advice?
My closing thoughts are before you go blaming any outside forces for your perceived failure, make sure that you have exhausted every internal thing you could do to help yourself.
Mhm.
What do your thumbnails look like? Are you trying to pull people in with your titles? Are you being consistent? Are you being a fake ass? Are you being annoying? And then if you genuinely feel like you're checking off all those boxes and it's still not working, then go kill yourself. There's nothing else you can do.
Wow.
Just kidding.
I think, dude, we have the most views on the podcast thing right now.
Fucking go.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I see on Rumble that's tough is a lot of, and I know some people don't do cams for good reason, but not having a camera, like facial expressions matter. People are trying to connect with a human when they're watching your stream. And then the other thing is a lot of people are just really low energy. Very low energy, and they never watch their chat.
At the end of the day, it's entertainment. Like they're coming to you because they, you know, we're all inundated with politics and drama and relationships and work and bills. You know, if they're spending some time to sit down and watch you, it's entertainment. Like they got to feel engaged with you. They got to feel like you want them there. You know, like it really is. I know the word community gets like beat to death, but it really is. If you can make people feel like they're part of an actual community and not just a number in your chat, that's important. And it's work. It really is work to put in that kind of mental focus to think about the people that are watching you, like personally, if you can, as much as you can. And it's, you know, you can't take your viewers for granted, and you have to really care that they're there, or they won't come back.
Yeah, if your viewers are just numbers to you, no one's gonna feel appreciated when they stop by, and you probably don't deserve any success anyway. It's kind of weird being a streamer if you don't have some kind of care or compassion for people. It But I think community management, I know you said the words used a lot, but that's really what you are, especially if you have a Discord. You're a community manager as a streamer. And you're the one who sets the tone for your culture. So I have had a lot of compliments on my community by people like, how do I get a community like yours? Or I really like your community, Diabear, and it's because of who I give my time to. And I surround myself with great people who have an interest in other people. And as long as folks are a certain way and they know how to actually communicate with people and they're not trying to dominate, they're not exhibiting those red flags we talked about earlier, they're going to do well in my community. And it's like, there's a lot of people now I game with from the Rumble community because there's just some really normal people here.
Yeah, nice. I appreciate that compliment, American. He says, you guys have replaced all my mainstream entertainment. That's cool, man. That's awesome.
Aw.
That means
I love you too, Glitchy Poo.
That means we're doing something right. Thank you for having me, Diane. I'm gonna go hang out with my wife and have another beer and go pee. I've been holding in this pee for a while now.
You're usually up and down.
Yeah, I usually get pee like every 30 minutes. I drink a lot of water and coffee and shit on my stream, but
Chat, I want to send you guys over to another stream. I'm thinking Ram RT. He's got 15 people. We need to give him more.
What's he playing?
It just says top secret stream. Chat, go on over to Ram.
It's actually not a bad one because I'm like, okay, now what the fuck is this? Like that's not bad. That's not bad.
I'm gonna head on over there.
I think tomorrow I'm clicking on that link and it's not opening. Oh, hold on, what's he playing? Okay.
Yeah, if you go over there, let him know that Diabear sent you guys. Please. A little bit of a plug. Just a little plug.
Diane, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining.
You're very welcome.
I'll get the clan started this weekend and I'll probably see you later.
Are we the Clue Clucks or did you think of something better?
I thought you didn't watch.
No.
I was gonna do just the Clucks.
Okay. I don't know. Man. I love the free speech over here, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to get it.
I don't know. Nifty, what do you think?
I'm gonna let you close it out with your chat. I'm gonna get off here and go pee and go hang out for the night. But if you ever want to invite me to anything, send me a link, and if I can, I'll show up.
Sure thing. All right. You have a good night.
All right. See you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye. I got to figure out how to do this, chat. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Y'all have a great night. And go to Ram stream.